Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Mr. Hancock. Yep. Thanks everybody for joining. This is driver's education. And so there is actually a lot of components to driver's ed, which you may have figured out already. So the good thing is I am recording this. So hopefully if you need something, you can always go back and reference everything. And I apologize, it gets a little bit complicated a little bit. That's what happens when you have to work with the driver's license division and the Department of Public Safety and the Department of Education. They all come together and it just takes a little bit to go through the process of getting your license. So what we're going to do today is we're going to kind of go over everything kind of involved with driver's ed, get any questions answered. So you guys can go through and just do all the stuff you need to do. This class, we're only going to have this one live class. This is you get some school credit for it, but this is more kind of an extracurricular event. Most schools, they do have these as after school and not in school, but this will be good. This will get your theory portion done, and then you'll have to do the behind the wheel at your local area. Okay. So let's start in and we'll go over everything. If you guys have questions, anything as we go along, please ask. Okay. All right. So hopefully you got my welcome announcement real quick. So this is in the OLS. So I wanted to distinguish real quick. So we have the OLS where I'm going to host your official grade of where your grade is. Now your grade is also only pass or fail. So this is not an A, B, C, D, F course. This is either you passed it or you failed it. Okay. So that makes things a little bit easier. Just need to get up to passing. The next thing is, but the content, because this was created by the Utah State Board of Education, they created it in Canvas. So how you're going to do your assignments is through Canvas. Okay. So I do have the dates here. So if you go into like plan, right, go to plan, you'll see here, I don't have your first module due until next Friday. So that gives you kind of plenty of time to get working and get logging in and get used to the thing. So you need to pass really with like 70% overall in the course. Okay. And you need to take the final exam as well. Good question though. Okay. So as we go here, you'll have all of these modules. There's 5 modules and then there's the final exam. The final exam is worth 1/3 of your grade. So you got to make sure that you do that. So can we do everything on our own time? Yes, but you'd have to get everything in by the end of the block. Okay. That's the biggest thing. Okay. You have to get everything in by the end of the block. So as we kind of go through this, right, if you kind of keep pace, that's going to help out a lot because, as I said, driver's ed, it's a fairly intensive class because it asks a lot of you. There's a lot of requirements that the state makes me do before I can go and give permission for you to do your behind the wheel training, whether you do that at the district or a local charter school or a private place. There's a lot you have to do. So if you go into here, you're going to see that all they have, your content is not in here. Once again, it's in Canvas. So it will go and you can link here and it'll take you right to the Canvas link, or you can go and click on it right here. You should have all received this link. Okay. And I'm going to put that in the chat right now. And that's going to prompt you to go and put in a username and login. Your username is your Utah Virtual Academy email. Okay. So the one that's at utahvirtual.org. So the one that you guys all email me for, if you go up to the right-hand corner, you can usually click on where it has your initials, and it will show you what that is. Okay, it's like it usually has somewhat of your name and some numbers at Utah Virtual, and then everybody has the same password, Drive Fit, all lowercase, one word. Okay, so you're going to jump over there, and then that's going to get you in to the course. Okay, let me just click on this real quick and see if, so it's going to show like this right here, and you'll put in your at Utah Virtual, your password, and you put login. And once you log in for the first time, it'll have you accept something, but you should be able to accept a course up here, and you'll say Blk3 2023 Driver's Education. Okay, and then it's going to look like this. So this is kind of where you do all of your assignments and everything like that. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there real quick. And I want to go through now, before we go into like what you have to do through the theory class, because I have some people that go and say, hey, I completed the class, how do I get my license? There's a lot more to it than that, okay? There's a bunch of different processes you have to go through. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump right here, and we're going to do a little video that goes over all of those different steps. So I'm going to play a little bit of the video, and then I'm going to stop and kind of go over everything that you guys need to do and make sure you're in the process of doing, okay? It's going to include a combined effort of you and your parents, okay? Your parent or guardian, because they require parent night and some other things like that I'll go over in just a second, okay? So let me start this video. Okay, nobody can hear it. Dang it. Okay, hold on. Let me stop and reshare real quick. Maybe that's what it is. I apologize. Does that work now? Can you guys hear it? No? Okay. Well, that's not good. Usually it plays for me. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to share this video with you, okay? All right. I'm having issues here, apparently. Oh, great. Okay. All right. I'll send you that video a little bit later. Okay. I don't know what's going on with the audio or the video, but let me just go through these steps with you real quick. Let me see if I can get to it real quick. All right. You won't be able to hear it, but I'm just going to go through where it has the steps on there. Okay. All right. So the first step that you need to do, okay, is you need to obtain a learner's permit. Okay. If you do not have a learner's permit, it's okay. I've already had some people reach out to me and say they don't have their learner's permit. But if you don't, you need to work on getting one. Okay. Here's this link right here. Okay. This tells you the steps you need to do to get your learner's permit. You have to be at least 15 years old. You have to go into the driver's license division. You need to like take a photo ID. You have to get different documents, your eyes checked. There's a $19 fee. You need to bring your social security card and your proof of date of birth, and then 2 residency documents, okay? And you also need to take a written test. So you want to be able to have this done before you pass this class. Now, ideally, you would have this done already before you came in this class. So if this is something that's going to be really hard for you to get your permit, you may want to talk to your counselor and looking at getting in the next block after you have your permit, okay? But that is your first step, is to get that, okay? All right, your second step, okay? Your second step is after you have your permit, you need to start driving with your parent or guardian, okay? Now, there's a 6-month waiting period from the time you get your permit until the time you get your license. So the qualifications, you have to be 16 years old, and you have to have held your permit for at least 6 months. In that 6-month period, that's when they talk about getting your license or going through driver's ed. So your parents at the very end of this, when you get your license, they're going to sign saying that you've driven 40 hours with a licensed driver over 21, and 10 of those hours were at night. Okay. So make sure that you start getting driving in and do that. Yes, at night. So 10 of the 40 hours need to be at nighttime driving. That's the requirement from the state. Okay. All right. So the next one is, you guys don't have to pay a fee or anything because you're doing it here, is you're going to take the online theory class. Okay. That's what you're in right now. Okay. That's what we do in Canvas and everything like that. So usually it takes, we're going to get this done during this block, and I'll go through all the process of the online class in just a second. Okay. Okay. The next step, okay, is to, after you, in one of the assignments or tasks that it has in the class, is that you need to find a place where you can do your behind the wheel training. Okay. Utah Virtual Academy, since we're throughout the entire state, right? I can't, I'm only one person. I can't drive somebody that's in St. George and then somebody that's in Ogden area. Okay. So it's not realistic for us to have a behind the wheel thing. But what you need to do is probably either go to your local school district, or if there's a charter school nearby that has a driver's ed program, you can do the behind the wheel with them after you complete the theory class here. Or they have private driving schools that you can go to. Okay. And so they'll help you get the behind the wheel training in, that you have to have 6 hours of behind the wheel training, and they'll help you work on that portion and get that done. And then you also have to do like a driving skills test at the very end, and you can either do that at the driver's license division, or if the school that you go to actually administers that test, they can do that for you as well. Okay. And then after that, you need to, you'll basically be done with driver's ed. You have to be at least 16 and have held your permit for 6 months in order to get your license. Okay. You can go to the DLD and get your license. Okay. So that's kind of a breakdown of what we were going to watch. Sorry, the audio didn't work here. But those are the steps you need to go through to get your license. So stepping back real quick, if you haven't got your learner's permit, okay, I'm putting that in the chat right now. These are the steps you need to do. Okay. It tells you the whole process right there. So you need to start working on that. Okay. So in the course, so you've got into the course, you have everything here. Let me go to the student view so I can see what you guys are going to look at. It's going to look more like this, not as complicated. And what you need to do is the first thing is you need to fill out this form right here. Okay, so I'm going to put this form in the chat. If you do not have your permit, that's okay. Still fill it out and just put your learner's permit is to be determined, TBD. Okay, so I need you to fill this out so then I have everything ready for when you pass the course and I can put your information into the state database. So that's the first thing you need to do. After you do that, you're going to go to modules right here. And it will show the 5 different modules that you need to do and the dates. Now, some people get a little stuck on this portion. All you got to do, just so you're aware, to start module 1, see how it's kind of like there's prerequisites, is you just have to click on this and it opens up. Okay, and if I go back to modules now, and then you just push next, okay, and it will give you, here's a quiz that you need to take right here, and so on and so forth, okay? So if I go back into modules now, you can see how these have opened up. Okay, and you'll just go through all of these and they'll open up. As you can see, there's quite a few tasks that you need to do. So make sure that you're kind of keeping on, on pace and stuff like that, because everybody seems to scramble at the very end. The one thing that I want to mention right here is a requirement by the state for you and your parent to attend a 0 fatalities night. Okay. So I'm going to give you this website right here. I'll put this in the chat. And if you go down here, they have 2 ones. They have virtual meetings and they have in-person meetings. So if you want to go to in-person meeting, they're very, very good. You can just find one. They have them throughout the entire state. So if you live in Tooele, look at that, or I guess that was January 5th. So what's today, the 18th? So the 18th, they have one at Hurricane High School, and they also have one at Roy High School, okay? They also have some at Salt Lake Community College right here. Alta High School, Orem. So if you're in that area and you want to do that, you can see all the ones throughout February are all scheduled too. So you need to find a time during this class where you can attend. Or if you want to attend virtually, here are the dates they have them, okay? I would say most of my students do them virtually just because it's easier. But here's the biggest requirement. You have to have your cameras turned on, and they want your parent and the student to be in view of the camera. If not, they will not pass you off, okay? So I'm just telling you that right now, just so you're aware of the requirement, okay? Just going back, everybody, if you can't get into Canvas, if you remember on the announcement page, it's your Utah virtual email, and then the password is DriveFit to get on, okay? What's a module? Okay, yeah, so a module is like basically a unit. It's just kind of how they do it. So basically, if I were to come back here and I click on modules, so like this is module 1. So this is kind of like unit 1, okay? So unit 1 right here, then unit 2, unit 3, unit 4, and so forth. Can't remember. The parent night is a requirement. Yeah, by the state of Utah, it's required, okay? So you need to make sure that you find a parent night, okay? All right, so you'll just go through here. As you'll see, there's a lot of tasks that you need to do. That's why I said it's pretty rigorous. The class is meant to be 30 hours, okay? And that's the state requirement, so we can get it. So after you guys get all these things done, once again, I will be updating the grades in the OLS. Okay, so you do the work in Canvas, but I'll be updating the work in the OLS, or the grades in the OLS. And so that will be your official thing, remember? And it's a pass or fail. Okay, pass or fail. Okay, so once again, let's see here. Make sure you fill that out. I think that's all I really have. Okay, what kind of questions do you have? I know some people are asking for their username and password. Passwords always drive fit. I'm just going to put that in the chat real quick. And then your username is your Utah virtual email. Okay. No, it is required, Lizzie. It is. So the parent night is a requirement. You need to figure out when you can go there, when your parents go there, and it's a thing. Oh, the other form. So this form right here, it's not really optional. I mean, I need it at least by the end of class or end of the block so I can put your information in the state database. Okay.